Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Andrew Perry, coming to you live and at you from the busy streets of Brooklyn, New York. This is the welcome to the brief version of Drew Mania Live. Just finished watching just finished wrapping up the Thursday night game, even though it is 12, the time now is 12:18 in the morning. So, a couple of things I got to say about the Raiders. Got the Raiders-Chargers game. First of all, I know to me it's too early to talk about the playoff picture right now, but the look like if the playoffs ended today, even though the Raiders will still be out of the playoff hunt, the two teams that will be in the playoffs for the AFC perspective is the Buffalo Bills for a wild card. AFC wild card perspective is the Buffalo Bills and Indianapolis Colts and the Oakland will be out. Will be out. So with that being said, to me, I didn't really pay too much to the games, to be honest. I didn't pay that much to the game, to be honest with you. For a lot of different reasons. One, I was back and forth with watching How to Get Away with Murder and that, so I didn't really pay much attention like I would do on a Sunday night game. If it was a Sunday game, so I wouldn't pay that much attention. But like I said, with that being said, the thing that really jumps at me, there's a couple of games that jump at me. Number one, how much this is the worst season Phillip Rivers have had so far in his career. He has thrown, and you thought last season was bad. He is throwing a lot of balls that's really not Phillip Rivers. And mind you, this is the same Phillip Rivers who used to torture, and I mean torture, the Oakland Raiders. Literally. Every game he been the quarterback of the Chargers. I think his record. He have a winning percentage. I'm not gonna make it an exception because I don't know what his winning percentage is. However, but I know his winning percentage must be very high against the Oakland Raiders. Now, he had a really bad game. He's thrown 3 picks. His quarterback rating is 65. Higher, obviously, than Derek Carr. Derek Carr today has a 103, finished with a 103, 104, over 100 passer rating. But if the defense didn't do what they supposed to do, the Raiders could have won by 30 points or more, because that game, to me, in my opinion, was very sloppy. And Phillip Rivers was a part of it. He played a really sloppy game. He threw the balls left to right, very characteristics. I don't think the Raiders' defense is not that good. And let's be real, folks. The Raiders' defense is not that good. Not that good at all. They're really not a top-rated defense in the National Football League, but they do have takeaways. They talked about it. They talked about it in the broadcast. How they take away. They coming to the game, they only had 17 takeaways, and they had 3. So the Raiders really put themselves in. And the Chargers are 4-6. Does this mean the Chargers are out? No. Because we've seen this before, where teams who end up with a losing record, and by December to January, that's when the season starts to become unfolded, and slowly but surely, they start slowly, going to the postseason. So don't be surprised for 1 second. The NFL is not going to stay still. I think the Chargers need to get back, but the Chargers need to play better. They really, really need to play better. You can't continue to have these sloppy games and expect to be in it. You know, Phillip Rivers had to make. I think Phillip Rivers needs to do a better job offensively of where he needs to throw the ball, and we need to make better decisions with the football, period. Now, as for the Raiders, let me just before I let me get to the games. Let me just say this: the whole John Gruden and the Raider fan base, and they talk about how John Gruden, no one react to the fans more than John Gruden. Like, give me a break. This is the same John Gruden who won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against these Oakland Raiders. Even though the players may change, but it's the same organization. So the fact that you won a Super Bowl against your former team, and now you come back and act like you're in love with it. You're back to be a Raider. You never wanted to leave. You always want to be a Raider. Is a bunch of nonsense. So now, with that being said, the Raiders played well. The Raiders played well as they should. They are second place as we speak against right behind the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, they're really going to catch the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't care how bad of a season they having. So they're not catching the Kansas City Chiefs. We know that. Like I said, defensively, I mean, they run. That kid who running back. They have a future running back, I think, in the national coming up in Jones. They have a very, like I said, Derek Carr is really becoming, and this is the final primetime game in Oakland. So the Raiders starting next season, if you don't know, they're going to move to Vegas, which makes no sense whatsoever. But whatever. But that's neither here or there. The Raiders are going to be back. The Raiders are moving to Oakland, so it'll be. I don't know. I guess I don't know. To me, it's going to be a debacle. It's going to be moving the Raiders moving to Vegas is stupid, but that's neither here or there. Let's talk about the Thursday night game itself. The Raiders play solid. Like I said, the Raiders play solid football. They run the football very well. They didn't, for the first time, they didn't drop no balls. They really catch the ball. They had a big game. As I talked to earlier, Derek Carr had was 15 out of 20, 15 out of 22. One two make that one touchdown. One touchdown. He threw no picks not like Rivers did. And the result, the Raiders are in the hunt right now. But even though they have a lot of, you just hoping that things may change. Hoping that the Colts will lose the next few games. So either way, the Raiders are pretty much in good shape as far as winning the wild card is concerned. Even though it's going to be very, 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 very impossible. Very, very impossible. But so listen, and in the future, so that's where we at as far as basketball goes. Baseball. Oh, few things. Um, Jamal Adams cleared things up with the New York Jets and why the Jets. But to me, before we wrap this up, I just want to say, if I'm the New York Jets, if you're Christopher Johnson, the owner of the New York Jets, you have to fire Adam. You have to cut your losses with Adam Gase because he's not a very good football coach at all. He's not a good football coach. He's been a football coach for a long time. Yes, the Dolphins got to the playoffs and didn't do nothing. But after that, Adam Gase, he's not a good coach because of what a coach does. He don't make situation worse. They find a way. And watching every Jet game this season, the Jets, even including the Cowboys game, the Jets look like they playing to lose, and you can't have that. You can't have that. And as a result, they have to go ahead and search for a head coach. That's all. So that's where we're going. Yeah. Alright, what's up, Jordan? I'm about to go to. Alright, I'm about to go to bed. I know it's 12 o'clock in the morning. Thanks for listening for the Drew Mania Live brief edition. You have a good night. You have a good night, y'all. Take care.